Welcome. On behalf of Springfield College President Mary Beth Cooper, Provost Martha Potvin, Dean Brooke Hollowell, and the entire faculty and staff of the Occupational Therapy Department, welcome to the 2021 Springfield College Occupational Therapy Academic Completion Ceremony. Woo. My name is Dr. Lori Vaughn, and I'm chair of the Occupational Therapy Program. It's a pleasure to be able to share this wonderful tradition, the Academic Completion Ceremony, with students, family, and friends. It's even more wonderful. Joni Simmons, Carrie Leckie, Andrea Coppola, and Elizabeth McAnulty for your hard work, and thanks to Diane Carignan for helping us to accomplish this vision. As we get started, I'd like to take a moment to first introduce and acknowledge the faculty and staff who are attending here today. Their hard work, dedication, flexibility, and commitment to the students are a large part of what brings us here this morning. I'll ask the faculty and staff to stand and wave a quick hello as I say your name. Dr. Joni Simmons, founding chair and coordinator of the undergraduate program. Dr. Corey Tratner, associate professor. Dr. Elizabeth McAnulty, associate professor. Dr. Jean McCaffrey, associate professor and academic fieldwork coordinator. Dr. Carrie Leckie, assistant professor and associate academic fieldwork coordinator. Dr. Andrea Coppola, assistant professor. And Dr. Scott McNeil, associate professor. And we're fortunate this evening to have two longtime faculty members and current emeritus faculty joining us this morning. The recently retired Dr. Kathy Post, longtime chair and professor, and Tara Hengeveld, associate professor. And again, we'd also like to acknowledge Diane Carignan, our administrative associate, who's done so much behind the scenes to help keep us all functional. We also have several adjunct faculty who support us and our students every day. And while I don't believe any could attend in person, they are certainly present in spirit. To all the full-time and adjunct faculty and staff, the past year and a half, the majority of the time these students have spent in the graduate program has been unlike any other, and I'd like to publicly acknowledge your efforts in supporting the students throughout the program. You've all worked tirelessly to create virtual and face-to-face learning activities and experiences to promote the skills necessary for success as future occupational therapists. So thank you all for all you've done to help support our students. And I'd also like to acknowledge all of the friends and families who are here to join us in celebrating this class as they take the next step in their journey to become occupational therapists. Without you, none of us would be here. Family support is essential to success for any student, but particularly for students in programs that are as rigorous as this one and under unprecedented circumstances that we've all experienced and continue to endure. Everyone has played a role in this journey and made sacrifices to help us get to where we are today. So to the families and friends here today or viewing via live stream, we thank you for your support and commitment. And I'd just like to ask all of the students to quickly acknowledge their friends and families who have been your supporters and your cheerleaders throughout your academic career. And now to the students. It is a privilege to be standing up here and honoring this great group. As a group, you have faced hurdles that no one else has faced, either individually or you're ready to not only face the next challenge, but to excel. Your goal to become an OT is well within your reach, and you're poised to become outstanding occupational therapists. And speaking of outstanding future occupational therapists, at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the speaker you have selected to represent you at today's ceremony, A.J. Beck.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be standing here on behalf of my fellow cohort, the Springfield College Occupational Therapy class of 2021-2022. I welcome all their parents, relatives, and friends who have supported them throughout their journey to becoming an occupational therapist. I'm glad that you're here, whether you're joining us in person today or participating virtually from home. I want to take this time to thank you, the college's staff, faculty, and events department, who have worked tirelessly to make this event happen. I particularly want to thank the Occupational Therapy Department for their continuous support throughout our academic journey. This graduation has been at least 2 years in the making for some of us, and 5 years in the making for others. Whatever journey you have taken to get here in this moment, I'm happy to say that we are here. And here, standing safely among our closest friends and support system to celebrate a great accomplishment. Together, we have endured Zoom school, embraced prolonged muted silences, viewed maybe one too many failed attempts at screen sharing, and have come to realize that we really don't love the breakout room feature. Although we spent more time virtually than we would have liked in our graduate experience, we did share a great deal of valued time together. We shared moments that made us hope. We have clients who will share their love for chocolate, which would remind us of Dr. Corey Tratner, and how no one can love chocolate as much as she does. And too many more times than not, when working on case studies, did we catch ourselves laughing at ourselves when we wished that Dr. Joni Simmons' utopia actually existed. From these shared moments and conversations I've had with many of you, whether one-on-one, working in group projects, or running through scenarios in open labs, I've learned a little more about each of you and your journey that got you here today. Before starting this program, some of us came from working experiences where they were inspired to be an OT after seeing them work compassionately and diligently with a family member or loved one. Some of us came as graduates following a gap year, or a couple more, from academics, and others as recent graduates, immediately continuing their education. One thing I've learned from many of you through your shared stories was that no matter what path you took to get to this moment, you all had the genuine drive to help others. And with that motivation, you've embraced the change in roles to be a graduate student, balanced your responsibilities, and persevered through many hardships to accomplish the success that brought you here today. During our time together at Springfield, we have learned so much. We've increased our knowledge in the foundations of occupational therapy. We've practiced delivering creative and compassionate treatment plans that can help our clients overcome any physical, emotional, or mental challenge. We've learned how to support one another, the difficulties we faced in this program, and reflecting that those skills we may use to support our team members when working in the field. In these ways and many more, you have embodied the mission of Springfield College by educating yourselves in the spirit, mind, and body. And I encourage you to use these skills gained to serve and empower others in showing them what occupational therapists can do. Whether you become an occupational therapist working with newborns whose first home becomes the NICU, or an OT working with children to improve sensory processing, or an adolescent and transitioning programs, or an OT working as an adult who faces challenges that changes the rest of their life. The OT who works with older adults in providing home modifications to improve independence, or the OT who provides comfort and a sense of peace to those in palliative care. No matter what path you take, you will find your place. have the opportunity to make a difference in their lives. And when you do, I urge you to serve all your clients with justice, honest, and equality. Our work, path, and journey in becoming OTs is not over. Today is another day, a stepping stone in pursuing our goals. And as soon as we head off to start to field work, I encourage you to reflect upon your experiences developed over these years and acknowledge your accomplishments, your academic accomplishments and challenges you have overcome, and be proud of what you've done. Let those moments rebuild your confidence and courage for the hurdles yet to come. I leave you with this message inspired by the words of Florence Clark. No matter what gender identity, race, age, or ethnicity, strive to build a connection with your clients and help build the bridge that allows you to become the best possible versions of themselves. To the occupational therapy class of 2021-22, I wish you the best and congratulations.
Thank you, AJ. As always, your words are meaningful and inspirational. Now I'd like to reintroduce Emeritus Faculty Dr. Kathy Post for a special presentation, followed by the first of our co-guest speakers, Dr. Corey Tratner.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be able to see your faces in person, even though I can only see half of your faces. It's still a wonderful day to be here and to celebrate your accomplishments, but I would also like to celebrate the accomplishments of Dr. Corey S. Tratner. Corey is not someone I've known for my whole life, but I've certainly known her for more than your whole lives. I met her when I started in the program in 1992 as an assistant professor, and her office was next door to mine, then across the hall from mine, then down the hall from mine for all of these years since that time. Corey has been an integral member of the OT department for almost 30 years. She and Joni and Tara and Ellen Rainville and I were among the early faculty members in the department. And when AJ talked about teamwork, that is something that I hope we have been able to model for you for your time here, because we absolutely could not have created and modified and recreated curricula without being good team members, supportive of each other in every way. Corey's particular specialty area, as you know, is psychosocial rehabilitation, and she has spent her entire OT practice, as well as her career at Springfield College, promoting the priorities of mental health wellness, mental health awareness, in addition to research into mental health issues. Her management projects and her 8-week group activities have had a positive and lasting impact, not just on generations of students, but also on local organizations by providing students opportunities to go in and suggest changes to those organizations, changes in the lives of individual people. Corey has also played a pivotal role in the development of the Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree, which will start very soon, fall 2022. Thank you, Lori. And she has also served the college community and the community at large in a variety of ways. Her commitment to issues of social justice, inclusion, and awareness played out through her active role on the Social Justice Committee, the Holocaust Committee, the Disability Awareness Committee, and she has been the faculty advisor to Springfield College Hillel for the past 16 years. She's worked closely with many faculty across the college and developed strong relationships that I heard her speak about in her faculty retirement address just 2 days ago. She has also worked as a consultant for several organizations, including the Center for Human Development, the Pyramid Project, and Hampshire Educational Collaborative. She served on the executive board of Lubavitcher Yeshiva Academy and the Friends of the Lighthouse, and she has also served on the board of the Jewish Family Services of Western Massachusetts, with leadership positions in Hadassah, Congregation B'nai Israel, and Congregation B'nai Jacob. At this time, I would like to speak for Dr. Lori Vaughn, Dr. Brooke Hallowell, the dean of our school, Vice President Martha Potvin, the provost of academic affairs, Dr. Mary Beth Cooper, and the Springfield College Board of Trustees in recognizing Corey's achievements and her retirement through the granting of faculty emeritus status. This is a great honor for her, but it's also a great honor for the college that she will continue to represent Springfield College within the community and within the field of occupational therapy. And I will introduce to you now Dr. Corey Tratner.
What? Thank you, Kathy. I think that's a hard act to follow, even though I'm following it. Dr. Coughlin, Dr. Hallowell, rest of the administration, esteemed faculty and colleagues, guests, and class of 21-22. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you also for permitting me to dedicate this speech not only to our graduating students, but also to my husband, Henry Hazenbush. Many of you know that my husband had a very long and arduous road with Parkinson's disease. He loved when some of you came to meet with him for your assignments and was always willing to help with your education whenever he could. Together, we journeyed through the healthcare system as a patient, a family care partner, a professional, and as a couple. Together, we faced not only the challenges of a progressive, debilitating disease while navigating our extremely complex healthcare system, but also the spiritual gift of maintaining a meaningful and purposeful life, regardless of the circumstances. Although we never spoke of this directly, I think he would agree with some of the suggestions that I offer you today. First, treat the whole patient. Now, before you start rolling your eyes, because you've heard this a million times so much that it just rolls off your tongue, think about it. Most healthcare facilities use independents and ADLs as the gold standard to be admitted and discharged from rehab treatment. But what if the person either already is independent or can't be? Then maybe the person's priorities for IADLs really should be the main focus. My husband was a very social person. He loved languages, going to museums, talking with people, reading, and discussing politics. He loved going on all of the trips when he could still ambulate with a walker, whether it was going out to eat or to the Big Y, and he was a master at trivia. As the disease progressed, OT would have been far more beneficial in helping him continue those activities than in trying to promote his independence and self-care when his motor skills were deteriorating. I encourage you to think out of the box when you do your documentation so that you can show progress and quality of life and still justify it within the confines of insurance coverage. Please make sure that your treatments honor those activities by being patient-driven and making wise choices. Second, the family and care partners deserve your services too, and should not only be considered as an extension of AADL or IADL techniques. Yes, they need and will ask for that information in order to help their loved ones perform daily routine activities. These occupations are important because they help the person feel normal, less of a burden on the family, and competent, especially if they like to cook. As much as the family may be willing to help the person with his or her self-care, they would be even happier if they could join in regular daily and weekly activities that are an integral part of their lives. Neither my husband nor I like to cook that much, but when company came, my husband beamed at preparing meals from Diet for a Small Planet. I think he might have preferred cooking individually once or twice with the OT, as opposed to watching the ladies bake cookies with the recreational therapist, as there was limited room for a group in the facility's kitchen. Include the family in reorganizing routines, developing new ways of fulfilling their emotional needs, and involving everyone in all activities so the family remains as a unit and not separated and struggling on two sides of a divide. Third, be an advocate for your patients and their families. I would have bought a new car in a heartbeat if one was built with the front passenger seat pulling out like a kitchen drawer and rotating like a lazy Susan so that my husband could have been transferred much more easily. It would have meant that we could not only have gone to the doctors, but also for drives in the countryside and to community and family events. Convince policymakers, legislators, and contractors to make all housing in all communities completely accessible. What would help one would help all. In other words, universality would include people with walkers or wheelchairs, mothers with strollers and toddlers, athletes with injuries, people with amputations or deformities, and able-bodied people carrying heavy packages. Be the OT who joins public health activists in making community-based exercise and volunteer programs available for people with chronic mental or physical conditions so that they can be engaged in their communities in a healthy manner and with accomplishment. Educate people on what OT can do and unite them in bringing these activities into daily contexts, non-traditional settings, and into emerging areas of practice. Lastly, you have been given a gift in that you have been trained in physical rehabilitation, the psychosocial aspects of purposeful living throughout the lifespan, and the importance of engaging in meaningful occupations in order to live a quality life. Keep those tenets close to your heart and deep in your soul. Yes, they are a profound challenge, but also a caring, loving commitment. Meet those responsibilities with sincerity and dedication, no matter how you may be confronted by our medical system and society. As you have heard me say many times before, have a plan A, B, C, and sometimes even a plan D and E. In other words, don't ever quit. OT is not only a profession, it is also a calling. Carry your OT badge with honor and pride. I wish you success in your careers. I hope you will be as happy and as rewarded as I have been throughout my career. If that occurs, you will be very happy. May your careers be filled with excitement, challenge, passion, and satisfaction. And for those of you who listen to Garrison Keillor, be well, do good work, and let us hear from you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Drs. Post and Tratner. It's now my pleasure to reintroduce Emeritus Faculty Member, Professor Tara Hengeveld, for another special presentation, after which Dr. Joni Simmons will deliver some remarks as our other co-guest speaker.
Good morning. Coming back here has allowed me to realize how many generations of OT students I've missed. And I've only been retired for 6 years, 7 years. It's crazy. I am Tara Hengeveld. I was the academic fieldwork coordinator from 1994 to 2012. It's my honor to speak about Dr. Joni Simmons, the founder of the OT program here. But let me digress just a bit. Back before thoughts of academic programs, Joni and I were OTs in different Veterans Administration hospitals in the Boston area, both of us working in geriatric evaluation programs. As you can imagine, we became resources for each other. However, we didn't actually meet face to face until she and her partner appeared at a whitewater canoe training session where my partner and I were teaching. Talk about a small world. Shortly thereafter, she started the OT program here, some 5 years later. I ran into Joni at the national conference, and she was advertising for an academic fieldwork coordinator. That's the point at which I became the 5th faculty member, along with Kathy Post, Corey Tratner, and Ellen Rainville. I totally loved joining this program. One particular delight I shared with Joni was as a faculty to something that was called freshman camp at that time. It's now considered outdoor pursuits. So each May for a week, Joni would teach kayaking and I would teach outdoor cooking. Those were amazing weeks. Talk about applying OT philosophy to life and to students who knew nothing about OT. We facilitated learning while demonstrating service to others through occupation. Dr. Simmons' delight in the OT profession and the Humanics philosophy filled the program with vitality and curiosity about a mix of academic rigor, personal achievement, and professional development for each student. While the program was rigorous, it was always a partnership between faculty and students. And Joni modeled this partnership as she stepped down from being the chairperson to the faculty member while fulfilling her doctoral requirements and raising a family. She regularly demonstrated the application of OT fundamentals in the clinic, the classroom, and personal life. The expectation was clear. We could all do this. Service and service learning are an integral part of Dr. Simmons' commitment to Springfield College. Students, as you know her many achievements in these areas. However, her service goes beyond Springfield College. She's committed to the provision of clinical services to the community nursing homes, local councils on aging, Massachusetts senior games, older American safe driving programs, just to name a few. I am honored to join her many colleagues and former students as we congratulate Joni on her retirement and welcome her into emeritus status at Springfield College, conveyed by the administration. She will always continue her dedication to research and development in occupational therapy and to the academic community. As Chairperson Lori Vaughn said, it is through service learning experiences that Joni instills a love for giving back to the community in her students and fosters the development of lifelong commitment to service through action. Joni, congratulations.
Thank you, Tara. I have President Mary Beth Cooper's little step stool under here. She showed me how to use it the other day. I'm sorry, it isn't quite utopia, because if it was, you wouldn't have another speech to get through. And I'm not so sure I want to follow all of those that came before me. But here it goes. Welcome, students, friends and family, Diane and faculty. I'd like to start by pointing out, although it already has been done in different ways, but we have 3 genres of OTs here. 1, you students, soon to be fieldwork interns, then before you know it, full-fledged OTs. The second group are the 4 OT faculty who came together and stayed together for a generation, for a full 20 years. 20 years for Kathy, Tara, Corey, and me, and then 30 years for 3 of us, Kathy, Corey, and me. And the third genre of OTs is this next generation of faculty to whom we pass the torch. You amazing students and the future amazing students are in amazing hands. Prior to coming here and hiring the first generation of professors, I was part of an area rehab group who pushed this school to start the first OT program in Western Massachusetts. Although I knew I wanted to teach OT eventually, I certainly hadn't expected to develop the program that I would teach in for the next 32 years. I was attracted to this school for its Humanics philosophy, a belief in the vital connections and dynamics in educating the spirit, mind, and body in service and leadership. Both OT and Springfield College, and I know you students know this, but both OT and Springfield College have their roots in the same philosophy dating back to the late 1800s. But it was during my interview here when I was so proudly professing my knowledge and appreciation of the Humanics philosophy that I called it the Humanics philosophy. I soon learned to say Humanics, and I also soon learned how much I would enjoy teaching OT, teaching here at Springfield College, with incredible students, fellow faculty, and administration, including our Dean Hollowell, and 2 very supportive department chairs, Kathy Post and Lori Vaughn. But back to you students. Let's see, what time is it? Actually, there's a cell phone up here. I don't know how to turn this one on. But I'm sure what I'd like you to do is think back 18 months ago to another Friday morning. Yep, OT fundamentals. We might have been discussing MOHO and its components of meaningful and purposeful occupations, the importance of roles and routines, and a supportive environment, elements that brought you to this point in your lives. But also, remember those very short OT goals and very brief listing of activity plans you did for that final exam? Now look at where you have come. Look at the goals and plans you've been creating in Adults 4 and Adults 5. What a difference. For many of you, your start was as freshmen in September of 2016. Yes, 2016. Do you remember these? The beanies they had to wear. Think of the trip you took from the old you to the new you. This past year and a half, the environment threw you a difficult pandemic challenge, but you didn't let it get you down. You did weekly testing, social distancing, mask wearing, not these beanies, but these. We thank you for hanging in there through such a difficult educational environment. This past year and a half also immersed us in the reinvigoration of the Black Lives Matter movement. One commentator called this year the year of two plagues, the plague of COVID-19 and the plague of 1619. Springfield College organized over 50 programs related to this issue, and many students, faculty, experts, administration shared their feelings and experiences. Things improved since the plague of 1619, but still not nearly enough. But recognizing and understanding are the first step. Know this school and this faculty support the movement and believe rendering OT services requires active listening, non-judgmental attitude, an accepting and supportive approach for persons of all color, creed, and sexual orientation. Please carry these anti-racist and anti-bias roles forward. Be brave. Work for justice wherever you find yourself. Only a very strong volition and maybe some stubbornness could transport you from the lives before this year of two plagues, to your lives now. You have to be proud of yourselves. Please recognize the inner strengths you have demonstrated, the knowledge and skills you have acquired, the experiences you gained. You are going to be great therapists, changing lives, nurturing many others' spirits to action, bringing them from the old to the new. However, along the way, remember to keep your own spirits nurtured. I quote from Eleanor Brown, "When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others from the overflow. You cannot serve from an empty vessel." We know you will share of yourselves. Use what you have learned as you travel the adventures of life these next and many years. Believe me, you will find the joy that comes from rendering OT services to those in need. But be open to unexpectedly falling in love with a career path you didn't think you would like. My first job included a dozen beds dedicated to older patients. Tara doesn't know this, but I had not been thrilled with that part of the hospital job I was in. However, I so fell in love with them that, as you know, the older population became my favorite focus point of OT. Also, be adventuresome. Get out of here. Go travel. Go travel America. Go abroad. Try some new hobbies. Contact Jessie Beckford for her advice about succulents. And Lynn Borelli on which New Hampshire mountains to hike, where I found her this past fall. Or Megan Berube for some horseback riding. Keep cultivating the friendships you forged here as you move through your exciting lives. But please keep in touch and use the Springfield College OT Facebook. I'll close with what Betty Hasselkiss, my favorite inspirational OT author, explains. Each of us has a story that flows in different directions. What we do in our everyday lives creates meanings, and these meanings are inextricably bound together in the flow of life, ever changing, ever deepening, and building who you are and who you are becoming. Go out there, enjoy being a part of this occupational therapy career I guarantee you are going to love. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hengeveld, Dr. Simmons, and congratulations to Dr. Simmons and Dr. Tratner on a well-deserved honor reflective of your time and impact on Springfield College. This ceremony is always bittersweet as we celebrate the academic success of our students, while at the same time they're leaving us to begin the next chapter in their stories. But today is even more bittersweet as we gather together as a program while preparing to say goodbye to two longtime members of our OT faculty, and whose legacies are interwoven throughout every aspect of the program. Thank you, Dr. Joni Simmons and Dr. Corey Tratner, for your tireless commitment to the students, faculty, department, and college over your decades of service. For a combined 6 decades, you have educated students in spirit, mind, and body for leadership and service to others, and for that we thank you. And at this time, I invite the GAs to the stage for a special presentation.
Corey, on behalf of our class, we would like to say thank you so much for your time here, and we just have a little basket to remind you how amazing you are. And then we also have a basket to give to Joni just to say thank you for everything that you've done for us, since some of us being freshmen and some of us being here for a few years. So we just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time to present you with your occupational therapy pins in recognition of your academic efforts and to mark the transition from student to clinician. The pin also represents your connection to the program, the college, and the profession of occupational therapy. I'm going to ask Dr. Simmons and Dr. Tratner to join me on the stage to present you with your pins at a social distance. As I read your name, please walk across the stage and accept your pin and your scroll. Do you want just decide them? AJ Beck. Jessica Beckford. Megan Berube. Lynn Borelli. Congratulations. Rosalie Bowman. Melissa Bronner. Destiny Vero. Congrats. Kate Capuano. Congrats. Kaylee Cesard. Mary Coloni. Gigi Cotugno. Kendra Cusero. Peter D'Amato couldn't be with us today. I hope Peter's watching by live stream. Congratulations, Peter. Nicole Dyer. Michelle Ehrlich. Jamie Lynn Forsyth. Sarah Fournier. Hannah Harrison. Congrats, Hannah. Danielle Hoffner. Gran Harinda. Lindsay Jeffries. Casey Jimenez. Kyle Kelly. Allison Kabilski. Olivia Longo. Congrats. Courtney McDonald. Congratulations. Sandy Molina. Congrats, Sandy. Logan Nace. Kesa, Janice Nieves, and Ariana. Haley Prindle Nelson. Catherine Rowe. That was hard. Brianna Russo. You owe me. Megan Sastrom. Olivia Syracuse. And Allie Souza. Congratulations and welcome to the occupational therapy profession. I'm now going to introduce and help me welcome Dr. Elizabeth McAnulty, who will lead us in the Occupational Therapy Pledge. You have that on the program on your seat.
So there is not a very formal pledge, and so we have been creating our own pledge for each cohort, so that it's one that's personally meaningful to each person in that cohort. So you all created this one last fall, before we had any idea what was heading our way. And we have it here for you today as you go out into practice. We're going to say it all together, so please stand. And we'll speak together. As an occupational therapy professional and student, I solemnly pledge to treat all clients and coworkers fairly and with compassion, holding the utmost respect for every individual that I serve and encounter. Keep in mind my clients' passions, making sure to incorporate meaningful and purposeful activities into therapeutic interventions. Never define a client by their disability or their illness. Maximize quality of life by encouraging, empowering, and uplifting my clients so they may continue participating in the occupations that have most meaning to them. Ask for help when needed. Continue professional development and take care of myself so that I will be present and able to put my clients' needs above and needs before my own. Remain motivated in my practice and always to act in the patient's best interest. Strive to expand my knowledge within the field, learning through experience and continuing education in order to successfully and efficiently help clients and enrich my own therapeutic practices. Maintain compassion and respect, approaching each situation and individual without judgment. Uphold the dignity of each individual with whom I work through client-centered intervention and advocacy. Always maintain my clients' quality of life to the best of my abilities, drawing on my education and experience. I will seek to alleviate the suffering of others by understanding the individual as a whole and keeping in mind the holistic approach that has defined our practice since the beginning. I pledge to honor and fulfill these duties as an occupational therapy student and professional to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are very powerful words and a strong commitment to the profession. I'm now pleased to introduce Logan Nace and Melissa Bronner to the stage.
Hello, everyone. For the past 5 years, we have made this place our home.
And in the last 2 years, many of us were lucky enough to be welcomed into that home.
And wherever we go from here,
We will take our home with us. Cue music. We're doing it.
No, that's a bell.
Oh, my tassel just.
one by one, these knots we've tied will come undone. Like picking locks, we'll sow our seeds beneath the sun. Our accomplice is the rain with patience that are saints. It grows and grows. Our home, sweet home. It took me 23 years to wrap my head around this, to brush the ashes off of everything I love. where courage was contagious, confidence was key. Bright as rain and soft as snow. It grows and grows and grows. Our home, sweet home. We'll try to document this light with cameras to our eyes. In an effort to remember why being bended feels like. We're home, sweet home.
Thank you, Logan and Melissa, for a beautiful rendition of a beautiful song, and yes, you are home. We've come to the point in the celebration for the presentation of a few academic and service awards. As your name is read, just please stand and wave so we can acknowledge you, and you'll pick up your certificate from the presenter after the picture at the conclusion of the ceremony. Dr. Joni Simmons will now present the Graduate Fellow Teaching Associates Department Awards.
I thought I was supposed to have the list. So I am to present the Graduate Fellow Teaching Associates, their awards for helping out in a great and many creative ways in our department. We could not have the practicums we have, the service learning projects, the level 1 field works, the level 2 field work, the labs. I mean, the list just goes on forever. And we, and last minute, many times it's last minute, Jamie, would you do this? Or Destiny, can you help out here? So just thank you so very much for a full year of some very dedicated service to we faculty. So what I'd like you to do is stand up when your name is called. And we will hold the applause until the end. Kyle Kelly, Brianna Russo, Hannah Harrison, Lindsay Jeffries, and mine, Jamie Forsyth, and Destiny Bureau. Thank you so very much.
Dr. Carrie Leckie will present the Student Occupational Therapy Association Awards.
Good morning. The Student Occupational Therapy Association has a longstanding tradition at Springfield College, and this group of e-board members has outdone themselves this year in a very difficult time. The SOTA e-board dedicated themselves to providing excellent and timely programming in areas such as American Sign Language, pediatric occupational therapy, guidance for the new clinician, and mental health first aid. Following all the safety precautions set in place by the college, they also dedicated themselves to raising the spirits of their fellow OT students by providing opportunities for real, face-to-face social events. Finally, the SOTA e-board made it their mission to provide an inviting environment for our undergraduate OT students to join both the social activities as well as programming designed for their special needs, which is a true testament to their warmth, enthusiasm, and dedication to the mission of the club. I would like to acknowledge the e-board members for their hard work and able guidance. If you would stand when you're name is called and hold all applause to the end, please. Secretary and Public Relations, Casey Jimenez. Vice President, Kaylee Cessard. And President, Megan Berube. You could all join me in a round of applause, thanking them for all your teamwork and dedication. Thank you.
Dr. Scott McNeil will now present certificates of appreciation, or later the certificates, to the student members of the Occupational Therapy Review Committee.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Vaughn. Can I get a woohoo real quick? This is a momentous occasion. Thank you, that's better. That's better. I couldn't hear you from back here. That's great. All right, so the Occupational Therapy Review Committee is a department-appointed committee made up of faculty and graduate students. And this committee is responsible for reviewing the academic and professional behavior status of all students in the professional phase of the occupational therapy program. Now, these committee members must manage confidential material and give input into decisions that require upholding the rigorous academic and professional standards of our program, combined with balancing the role of student advocacy. So in appreciation of their service, I'd like to recognize two students. If I could ask the following two students to please stand, Jesse Beckford and Courtney McDonald. Thank you so very much for your service.
The department also presents academic awards to those students who have achieved a cumulative GPA of 3.9 or higher. Because grades have yet to close for you, the recipients of that honor will be sent their awards. So congratulations to all of the current and future award recipients and all of the members of this class. As we bring this ceremony to a close, remember that today is a celebration of you. I alluded to your resilience earlier, but despite the challenges, you have gained countless skills. You've developed the ability to be flexible and adapt to unexpected and unprecedented change. You've learned to make the best out of situations that are not always what is desired. You've learned to use technology as one more tool in your therapeutic toolbox. And you've learned to make connections despite physical, social, and emotional distance. Today marks not the end, but the next step in your journey. While your knowledge, skills, and countless attributes will take you far, as Logan and Melissa sang, you have a home here at Springfield College and in the hearts of your OT family. Stay connected, for it's those connections that provide strength and stability as you embark on your professional career. Before we conclude, and as the students recess to take our class pictures, those viewing on live stream will be able to view the class slideshow created by Rosalie Bowman, Kate Capuano, and Olivia Longo. Those attending in person can access the slideshow via the YouTube link, hopefully your student provided to you. We'll ask families to depart to the parking lot while we recess to the Health Science Center to take our class picture. Your students will join you in a few minutes. Okay. And now I would like the faculty, staff, and guests in attendance to join me in saying congratulations to the Springfield College Occupational Therapy class of 2021-22. You did it! Woo! Woo! And that concludes the official ceremony. We are going to recess to take our picture, and then you can join your families after. Thank you, everyone, for coming, bearing the sun and the heat, and celebrating these wonderful students.
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Some days when your whole life's gonna change, you'll miss the magic of these good old days.
I was thinking about the band, I was thinking about the fans. We were underground, loading merch in that 12-passenger van, in a small club in Minnesota, and the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name in a star. Now look at where we at, still growing up, still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that glass first. Wish I made it to homecoming. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my show. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought and felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open and the stars above. Moment frozen, sneaking out and falling in love. Me, you, and that futon. We just begun. On the grass dreaming, figuring out who I was. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Never thought we'd get old. Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I've been missing what it's about. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past while missing out on now. We've come so far. I guess I'm proud, and I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars. I've been around. I felt some pain. I've seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone.
May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. May the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. As a slap bracelet, may you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Having no possessions, though immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct.